profit target on this one, I believe, is around $70 with a $15 stop loss. So very, very good trade. It has been an interesting week in the market. I'm going to go over all the trades that I closed, entries, exits, profits, and losses, and then go over the trades that I've now entered. And again, I'm being 100% transparent. It's something that you're not going to find on a lot of channels, because at the end, I'm going to show you my P&L. And the whole idea here is to help build your foundation of trading, to go through the exact thought process that I'm thinking as I'm getting into these trades, and to show you the mistakes that I made. I wish I had someone that was this transparent when I started trading. It was just all about, hey, buy this course, look at this, do this, it works, and they don't actually give you real examples. I'm gonna give you all the trades that I made and even go over all the mistakes that I made to show you that I'm human, but at the end of the day, I'm still profitable, and that's what I want for you. Let's jump into the charts and go over all the trades from last week and this week. The very first thing that we're gonna do is review all the trades that I did last week. If you haven't watched last week's recap on my 1000K challenge, you can check out the video right here. It will go over all of these trades. We're looking at ticker PLTR, which is Palantir. And I entered this trade because I saw that this stock was trading in a parallel channel. I noticed on this particular day, price came down, put in the time count, and then put in this bullish Harami pattern. So my entry on this was the close of this day with a close below this level here. My initial target was up in this gap level, which it hit 2 days later. And then from there, I always adjust my trail piece to break even to where I got in the trade, because I always want to try and let a winner run to see how far it's willing to go. But if it's gonna break the trend and come back down and retest where I got in, I'm no longer interested. It's just part of my trade plan and how I like to protect my profits. So I took a decent sized win on this trade, but the trail piece, it just didn't work out. Next on our list is Tesla. Again, you see that we have a parallel channel. My entry was after this candlestick formation pattern, and this is a counterattack pattern. Price came right back down to retest support, gap significantly lower, and then almost put in a bullish engulfing candle. This is where I took my entry. Now, I made a mistake on this, and I want to be transparent. I'm not perfect, but I quickly realized I made a mistake, and so I took my profit right away so as to not turn this into a loss. So let's analyze this further. I only like to trade the first pivot after the parallel has been put into place. So let's look at this. We're going to take our low here, and we're gonna connect it right through this level right here. Extend it up to the first high. So I like to trade the very next pivot after the parallel has been confirmed. But what I noticed, if you look here, price has hit this parallel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was the 7th hit. And in trading, the more times the line is hit, the higher the probability of it breaking down. And I don't like to be involved in that. And for some reason, I missed that. And I just saw the candlestick pattern that I really liked at support, so I bought it. Now, I was able to capture profit on this, but after I noticed that I missed the obvious on this trade and got in way too late, I took my profit on this day and just got out. Now, that's a big thing when it comes to trading, is when you realize that you're wrong, it's okay. We all make mistakes, but you need to jump out right away. Whether you're in the green or in the red, if you made a mistake, just get out. Next on our list is ticker UNH. Again, parallel channel. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I was supposed to get in on this candle here, but I made a mistake. But then again, I saw that there was a lot of upside potential on this, so I jumped in on this candle right here. Now, again, the very first goal is to take initial profit. That way, if the trade does go against you, you lock something in, because we just don't know what stocks are going to do, and then let your winner run. So I took my initial profit up here and was hoping to capitalize on the bigger gain, but it broke the trend. It came right back down, right to my entry level, and I stopped out of this trade. However, this was another winning trade. The next ticker is GEN. I made 2 serious mistakes on this trade that I want to be transparent with you on, because if you're a new trader and you're just getting started, understand that even people who've been trading a long time, we do make mistakes. No one's perfect, right? We have emotions that go through us, and sometimes we just don't think things through clearly, and I did that twice on this, and this was a winning trade that I actually took a small loss on. So let me explain what I did. The first thing I noticed is price came right back down to parallel support, and that's my first indication to get in. And then we put in a high probability cycle low, and this is called a tweezer bottom. And the tweezer bottom is basically saying that it's pinching price, right? The trend is being pinched here, and there's a good chance that price is going to reverse. And so I noticed that, and this is why I wanted to take the trade. I got in the next day, it gapped lower. And for some reason, I put a stop loss in right here around 25.84, even though I know my rules are to only stop out if it closes below the line. I don't know what I was thinking. I made a mistake. I got stopped out, and I quickly realized I needed to get back in to follow my plan, and I did. And I was up way more than 2-to-1, which my first exit is always 2-to-1, and I didn't lock any profit. So I made back all the loss. I had profit. I didn't do anything with it. Price started to come back down, so I did set my stop to break even, and I got stopped out. I took a loss when I shouldn't have, and then I earned it all back plus some, and I didn't take any profit, and then I just got stopped out. It's a mistake. I made a mistake. Wrote it down. I'm not going to let it happen again, but I turned a winning trade into an unfortunate small losing trade. Let's now jump into the trades that I took this week. And the first ticker I want to look at is ticker MAA. And you can clearly see we are in a parallel channel. And this is the setup. Price came right back down. It's the first bounce after the parallel has been formed. Came right back down, put in a long doji candle, which is complete indecision, which tells us that more than likely the sellers are losing control and the buyers are stepping in. And it's been kind of choppy the last couple days. Price rallied, and then it gapped down and rallied, then it gapped down, and it's railing again. So as of right now, I haven't closed any orders out on this position. My first target is going to be 139. The position is doing well, and it's holding the levels that I want it to hold. The next ticker on my list is AXP. And again, I made 2 mistakes on this one that cost me money. This was a great trade that I should have made a decent amount of money on, but I barely made anything on it because, again, I made a very pivotal mistake. So let's go over the trade, and then let's understand the mistake so you don't make it in the future. Obviously, we have our parallel channel, and this is the very next bounce after the parallel channel. So I knew it was a high probability. What I noticed was right here on this day here, we put in a semi-tweezer bottom. It's not exact. Sometimes trading isn't exact. Anytime you see small body candles like this at support, it's a good indication that the trend is losing steam, and momentarily we may see a change in trend, and that's exactly what happened here. It was on this day that really got me. So I entered on this day here because I noticed the tweezer bottom. And again, I put my stop right down here at 352 when I knew that I needed to hold on to it unless it closed below. And for some reason, I just put my stop in because I knew I had things going on that day. So I had left, I put my stop in, I got stopped out. After I got stopped out, I looked at my screen and said, oh, I made a mistake. And by that time, price had already rallied back. So I immediately jumped back in because, you know, I knew I needed to be in the trade still. And I had taken like a $13 loss. Now, I know that's not a lot, but again, I'm trading a small account. After I took that loss, I realized, well, now I can't take the exact exits that I want to, because if I were to take the exact exits that I normally do and price were to come back and stop me out at break even, I would actually be losing money on this. So at this point, I'm just trying to get out of this trade to make the money back that I lost. If I can make a little bit extra, great. But at this point, I just need to protect my capital because I made a mistake. So I jumped back in and I took all of my profit up here near the 50 moving average. So I made all the loss back, plus I made a little extra. I think I made like $6 on it when I should have made like 20 some bucks on it. So it's a big difference in P&L swing, especially when you're trying to grow a small account. A mistake that I made again, but I won't do it again, hopefully. And then lastly on our list is ticker MOS. It just put in this inverted head and shoulders. If you look, we have a shoulder here, the head here, and another shoulder here. Price broke out, came back through, broke out, confirmed on this candle here above this candle, and came right back to the level. So I entered right here. In order to figure out what your profit is, you just draw a line from the bottom of your head up to your neckline, and then you just drag it over, which is what this one is here. Shoot for your target with a stop directly below this pivot here. This is around a 4-to-1 risk reward trade. This is a very, very good trade with a very high probability of success. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Let's now go over the current P&L. So as we can see, AXP, I mentioned I took a very small winner. I made $18.19 today, which initially would have been my first profit target, but because I made that mistake that I mentioned, I made back all the loss and only ended up with a $5.05 winner, which is really unfortunate because once I get a decent sized loser, which I know is coming, these good winners really help buff those losers, but I made a mistake. GEN, again, I made the mistake there. I was up about $20 on this trade, but because I made the mistake and then I didn't take profit, I ended up taking a $2.74 loser. A winning trade turned into a loser. And as a trader, that's like the worst, the most deflating feeling ever when you have a winning trade that just turns into a loser. Next on our list is MAA. So I'm still in this trade right now. As of now, I'm up $8.05, but it still has a little ways to go. So I'm not going to close anything out on that trade. MOS, I am in this trade. Currently down $2.88, but the profit target on this one, I believe, is around $70 with a $15 stop loss. So very, very good trade. And we're going to let that one play out. PLTR, I took a $22 winner. Tesla, I took a $15 winner. And then UNH, I took a $6.30 winner. So all in all is going well. As of right now, about $45.10. But hopefully after next week, I'll be up quite a bit more. And again, if I wouldn't have made those mistakes on GEN and AXP, I'd be up another almost $40 right now. Mistakes will cost you. You have to learn to not make those mistakes. So hopefully that helped you guys out. So there you have it, guys. That's week 2. Again, if you missed week 1, you can check it out here where I go over all the trades that I initially started with and why I got into those trades. And listen, I really hope that you find some value here because being a transparent trader is not something that you see a lot nowadays. And I really wish I had that when I started. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you that this is possible. I remember being on the other side of trading and how frustrating it was, and didn't really have anyone like this that was willing to explain these trades and go over the mistakes, because all that everyone ever teaches is all their winners. But that's not trading. You're going to lose. And I do lose, but I try and keep it minimal and then really try to let those winners run. So if you got any value from this, I would appreciate if you drop me a like, comment, and subscribe. And again, stay tuned because next week I'm going to be going over week 3 and hopefully the results will be good. It looks like the market's getting ready to turn over, but who knows? So we'll have to see how we do. And again, if you're following along, I appreciate you so much and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.